Hello, folks. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. All right. Now's the time to stop tightening Fed monetary policy and instead start tackling federal budget policy, which is still out of control. Now, Joe Biden keeps telling us that he cut the budget deficit by $1.7 trillion, whereupon he was awarded the bottomless Pinocchio by Washington Post fact-checker Glenn Kessler. Sorry, Mr. Biden. But the Congressional Budget Office just came out with a $1.5 trillion increase in the budget deficit for this year, FY23. Spending is running about $400 billion above last year, and the final deficit this year is likely to come in closer to $2 trillion. So if you want to pave the way for lower inflation and stronger economic growth, then the spotlight should turn from the Federal Reserve to the federal government. Now, the accompanying chart, which is drawn up by the Committee to Unleash Prosperity Hotline, shows how much M2 growth has plunged in the last 2 years. And although the relationship with inflation is far from perfect, it does strongly suggest inflation will continue to come down. It's consistent with that, the Treasury yield curve is upside down, and commodity prices continue to weaken. Now, the latest reading for the CPI, 4.9%, still too high, but a lot better than 9.1%. The Producer Price Index came in at 2.3%. That could be where the CPI is heading. And then year-to-year import prices, they have fallen 4.8%. That's why I say now is the time for the Fed to pause, and now is the time for Congress to get moving on spending restraint. Now, one of the things I really like about Kevin McCarthy's debt ceiling and budget reform plan is that it not only lowers the speed limit on federal spending growth, it also has two important supply-side economic growth policies. One of them is the permitting reform called H.R. 1, which will lower the cost of all sources of power and create a lot of new jobs. The second is the work requirement provision that would increase labor force participation. That's good for growth, also creates taxable income from new labor entrants, also reduces welfare spending. So if inflation is defined as too much money chasing too few goods, the McCarthy plan would be the first policy in several years to produce more goods and services, while the Fed has reduced the supply of money. Hence, inflation will fall more. Because of supply-side reforms, by the way, putting a speed limit on spending would also stop the incredible Biden proliferation of regulations that is strangling energy and business throughout the economy. Then there's this absolute insanity of the newly proposed EPA rule that would be the death sentence for fossil fuel power plants. This would be a death sentence for the whole economy. These radicals at the EPA will wind up cutting power by 50%, according to some estimates. 50%. We don't even have the technologies they want. And hopefully the whole thing will be unconstitutional. But that's the kind of supply-side crack-up that the Biden central planners have fostered for the last 2 years. And that is a key cause of inflation. Now, I don't really think the debt ceiling X day is a big factor for financial markets right now. You know, Janet Yellen said June 1st, but the CBO just said, with any luck on June 15th corporate tax revenues, the federal government can probably get through the month of July. In any event, there's also a lot of good staff work going on between the White House and Congress, and the possibility is strong that a final deal will include, get this, a COVID clawback, energy permitting, and work requirements, along with some kind of speed limit cap on spending growth. I've said all along, Kevin McCarthy has the whip hand, and his conference is going to stick with it. So I think a Federal Reserve on interest rate pause, combined with an increase in the debt ceiling along with pro-growth policy reforms, would be very bullish for the stock market and the economy. There will be no default. There will be better growth, a lot better than the 0.9% recession-prone GDP of the past 15 months. Inflation will continue to ease. And let me inject one final thought. Now, bear with me on this. An absolutely beautiful speech by Fed Governor Christopher Waller, which opens up like this, and I'm going to quote, "Climate change is real but I do not believe it poses a serious risk to the safety and soundness of large banks or the financial stability of the United States. And I believe risks posed by climate change are not sufficiently unique or material to merit special treatment relative to others. But my role is not to be a climate policymaker. I must focus on financial risks. Now, folks, I get it. Fed speeches, not usually bedside reading, but honestly, you got to get a hold of this. Go to federalreserve.gov if you want to read the most sensible monetary speech, maybe in history. Save America. Read Christopher Waller. Save America, pass the McCarthy bill. And save America so free market capitalist optimism will remain alive and well. There. All right.